Hello, Facebook world. I'm just finishing prepping my mix while I see if anybody joins. Because I'm retesting, well, remaking, they're not really tests, but new designs that I made that I dropped all over the floor yesterday as I was bringing them to take them for pictures. So I'm just gonna remake them. And I actually have, hey, hi Alicia. At some point tell me, is it Alicia, that's A, or Alicia, which is B? I wanna say your name right if I have it, or C, none of the above. I'm gonna throw this on. I've done a different angle today so that hopefully I can see comments as I'm making. And you know, we'll see. The first way, great, Alicia. So I have to say, just a little warning. If you put your alcohol and water in a similar bottle, and I do mark them, but the other day I was like ready to bring some finished bombs upstairs to shrink wrap, and I usually spray them with my alcohol, and I grabbed this, like sprayed a couple of times, but luckily they take like a little bit of priming before anything comes out, so I lucked out on it. But just a warning, if you're like me and use both kinds, always double, triple check. Anyway, so let me just get my binder in here. I have a few new designs that are coming out, and I wanted to show you guys. Some people had said they wanted to see me testing live, so you can see the new designs live. I've drafted the listings, but I haven't gotten pictures uploaded yet, so what I'll probably do is maybe later tonight or tomorrow, I'll get them listed, but without photos of the finished bath bombs. And then when these, you know, tomorrow, I'll take a picture. I'll probably take pictures either tomorrow or Monday of the finished ones so that they can be included with the listing photos, and that way you can fully see what they will look like. But today you'll get an idea of it. But given my luck yesterday with dropping that tray, I don't want to risk taking the pictures today before they've had at least a day to kind of set. So anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started. There is one mold that I haven't tested, actually kind of technically two, but but one of them has gone through several revisions, and so that one is a true test today. I think I finally maybe kind of got it. I actually, as I was bringing it upstairs from my print room, aka basement, I noticed one small potential issue. But it's really just making sure some pieces stick out a bit more. And so if this design works, then I'm gonna just get that done, and then it'll be good, or it might work fine as it is. Okay, but first I'm gonna start with one I know for sure works. And I will say I was testing out a new theory with this one. Not theory, it's actually not even new. I kind of thought of this when I started 3D printing. And good morning, Chris. And I was like, ooh, maybe I know now a little bit more about 3D printing. You can finally pull this off. So I have for this mold, you can probably guess that it's a pencil, but I was trying to also do this as a crayon. And so I was like, ooh, maybe I can make the back side a crayon, so you kind of have a 2-in-1. The problem is the way that 3D printing works is it like prints like, you know, like this is what's called the bed that it prints on. And so if it's got nothing to print on, it'll be all jumbled. So you can print what's called a support. And so it prints this thing that it then prints onto so that it will be a little bit better. But if you'll notice, it's all like I had to try and file that stuff off. It's not smooth. So it's not going to happen. Like this is what the crayon part was on the bottom. So I think the design will work fine. I just have another plunger for that now. So unfortunately I couldn't do it as a one so that people could buy one mold and have two different like fully designed things. And maybe one day I will learn another way to print and I'll be able to do that. But for now, that is beyond my capability. And then this sleeve messed up as I was printing. So I'm using a messed up sleeve, but normally it would be a teensy bit taller. But anyway, so I'm just gonna do the pencil now. When I am like testing new molds, and for today, I generally do not use embeds because sometimes embeds okay, let me start over. Many molds, you need to kind of figure out like what's the trick of that mold. And like sometimes you need it to be a little bit more wet. Sometimes you need to be not as wet. Sometimes you need it to be, you need to tap in a certain place, you know, blah, blah, blah. Press more, press less, things like that. So when I am starting out with a new design mold, I usually, at least for the first one, will not put embeds in just because embeds, unless you're using embed powder, but embeds will add another layer of, you know, potential issue. So I want to make sure the mold works without embeds, and then, you know, I can figure out how to use embeds within it. Many times it's not an issue, but just because I want to make sure that design works. So today I am not using embeds just because also I'm trying to get it done. So let's just get this one. I don't have my plunger here, but I have another one over here somewhere. Yes, right here. I'm also trying to like revamp everything, and so now it's an extra mess than usual. Here's the mess that I dropped yesterday. That was fun. I was like trying to carry, you know how it's like, well, I don't want to make 20 trips. So instead of making 20 trips, I'm making another batch of bath bombs, which is fine. I like making bath bombs, but I was like trying to carry the tray plus I was like, oh, maybe instead of putting the molds on the tray, which could slide around and mess up the bath bombs, let me put it in a separate container. And so then I did that, and I kind of balanced one on top of the other. And then I was like, oh, I need to drink more water. So I went back and grabbed my water bottle, and that was it. That was too much. So yeah, that's when I dropped everything onto the hardwood floor. Lovely. I love that. That was so great. Okay, here is, I probably should have put it the other way. Let's turn that a bit. Just there's a little more support. And I think this came out like perfectly. So there is my pencil. Yeah, Chris, it was funny. It was really funny. No, it was. I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, like honestly, not a big deal. Like a couple of months ago, I was teasing my husband. I won't go into detail, but long story short, I fell on that same floor, just upstairs, and basically in the end landed on my shoulder, and I still have a rotator cuff issue. So at least it wasn't my body that broke apart into all these pieces. So anyway, silver lining, right? Okay, so that's what I get for teasing my husband, but I haven't stopped, so, which he might pop in at any moment, so. Okay, next I am going to do the crayon. And I had tested it with the junky top and it seemed to work. So this is my first time trying it with the one that is an actual top. Yeah, Chris, exactly. You know, so if I also have plantar fasciitis right now. And actually I went to like a foot doctor the other day and he's like, now you have plantar fasciotis or something. I don't know. Fasciotis? I don't know. But he's like, when it's chronic, it basically becomes like even more of an issue and they change the name. And I've been going to physical therapy, or physio as it's called in Canada, physical therapy in the US, since the beginning of the year or before. Not fixed, blah, blah, blah. Really frustrated. So anyway, so... I have a very good friend up here who has like a cottage that she goes to every once in a while. So if you're not from Canada, I don't know if this is all of Canada or just Ontario, just certain. Anyway, all these people have like a cottage that they go to out in the, you know, like in the, away from the city. And, you know, I'm originally from Boston. People have like a place on the Cape or like someplace in New Hampshire on a lake. But up here they do cottages, they call them. Anyway, and so I was there. She has 2 kids. And we went in the lake, or Georgian Bay. I think that's still the lake. Anyway, and, you know, the kids are trying to play with me. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. My shoulder is injured. And they already knew about my foot. And the little boy, who's 12, he goes, how many injuries do you have? Like, thanks. I have a lot right now. Just the 2, but it feels like a lot more. Ah, children. Gotta love them. Okay. Oops, I almost just like knocked that one over. So these are thinner, although this one was about 140 grams, a little more, and this one also, I'm at 145 now. But when I have the sleeve bigger, you can probably fill it more. I'm sure you can, not probably, you can. And so let's see this crayon now. I've been seeing all these pencil soaps lately, and I was like, I want to do a pencil bath bomb. So, there we go. There's the crayon. I know it's going to be, I wish I had a mirror here so you could see it, but like see how it's written. But the big worry when you're doing letters is that they stick together. Like there's sticking in between, but that's the crayon. So the way I'm going to list that is you'll have the option of either getting the pencil or the crayon, or basically getting the 4 pieces. So you'd have a base, a plunger, a base, a sleeve, and 2 plungers. So that's how that's getting listed. Okay. Next. I'm always like, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, and my knees hurt. I'm a hot mess. Girl, me too. Me too. Oh, hello, Pete. I'm live, just FYI. Okay, so next up is more crayon things. So this is the one I haven't gotten the design down correctly yet because the letters keep sticking. So I've adjusted things a bit, and this is my third one. This does have some kind of pieces sticking up in there, so I'm just gonna kind of push my mix up in there to make sure I get it all into those little things. And then I'll fill it the rest of the way. So I'm at about 150 grams at this point. And so usually when I am making, I put music on in the background and I sing along. So I'm an actress, but I started out as a singer. I guess I'm a singer. So I'm thinking about sharing the video of like, sometimes like a major part of the song will come on and I'm like, I just stop making and I'm like belting it out. And actually really excited because I just saw an audition notice for a little musical review thing. And so I'm hoping theater is coming back. But anyway, it would be my first video audition. And I saw your note, Chris. Maybe I will. We'll see. I'm not warmed up at all today. But hey, maybe I'll try one of the 2 songs and get your opinion on which one. But one of the ones I've been majorly obsessed with lately is the musical Waitress. And so I've just been playing that all the time. My husband is like, stop playing that album. Like he's so sick of it. But he's like, aren't you sick of that song yet? All those songs yet? No, I am not. And this little musical review has songs from Waitress on it. So maybe I'll get to sing it. It'll be so exciting. But, so that one, the one, used to be mine is the big one from that. So I'm thinking about recording that one. And, whoops, I think now lately I like to tap not where there's a lot of detail. 1 second, I gotta focus on this tapping. I think it happened. I think it did it. Okay. So that's my little crayon box. What do you guys think? My issue before was the crayons was getting stuck and stuff. I did a little bit of a wetter mix today, and I did adjust those a bit. Now, the only thing I'm questioning, but I think I like it this way, is what I noticed when I printed it this time, that the letters, I didn't have them stick up as much. So the indentation is not as much as the other items, but I think I actually kind of like that. And it leaves less risk of sticking for people. So I think I'm gonna keep it like this, and that's gonna get listed. So that is it for that, for school things. So next I'm gonna switch to, they're kind of wintry, Christmassy, snowy, but some of them can be used year round and things like that. So I'm gonna start with the ones that I think could be used year round. Oh, actually first we'll go with, and then I'll start singing while I do this, okay? How's that? But when everybody drops, I'll know that wasn't a good idea. Okay, but luckily there's only 3 people, so if 3 people drop, I'll be like, oh, maybe they lost their connection. If I was watching, like, if there were like 20 people on here and all of a sudden I go down to 0 when I start singing, I would be crying. Anyway, so this is a moose, but I think you could paint a nose on here and make it a reindeer. Kind of my thinking. And, or if you wanted to go blank, this will, I think I made it so that you can put it in either way, but that's the moose. Let's see, like I just didn't put, I guess those are nostrils, so there's not a nose needed. I guess if I wanted to make it, I could have a nose sticking out, but I think you could do it as a moose. So, okay. So one of the songs I'm thinking of singing is actually from the Scarlet Pimpernel, and it's more of a ballad song. Actually, I guess 2 are kind of ballady. And that one's called, what is that one called? What is it called? So when I look at you, that's the first words. So it's actually a song about, so in the Scarlet Pimpernel, it takes place during the French Revolution. And the Scarlet Pimpernel is like what I would call like a Robin Hood of that time. And so he's, I think English, but he keeps like going over to France with his buddies and like helping out the peasants kind of deal, right? So anyway, but like to keep from being like known that it's him, he basically becomes like a dandy in England, so that nobody would think that he's like this swashbuckling thing. I think swashbuckle might be the right word. I don't know. Anyway, so it's like Clark Kent is the dandy, and then Superman is the Scarlet Pimpernel. And so anyway, in England, he's married to somebody, and she's like, what happened to my husband? Like, he was this like daring, strong guy, and now he's like, I don't get it. And so she has this song where she sings about like, kind of like a what's going on, and like I miss him. So that's what this song is. But I don't know if I know all the lyrics again, because it's been over a year since I've sang it, but I'll try it if you want me to. But I don't know how it would go. And I'll probably run out of breath a lot of times because I'm not warmed up. Okay, so if you did it without the design, it would look kind of like that. Now, of course, if you use the plunger to do that, it won't be like indented like that. It'll just be flat, but I think this is the only one that I have that can be put on backwards. So I'd be able to, okay, let's get that. Why am I putting it up there? I'm gonna like knock this whole tray over again. Okay, so, let's see. Okay, let's get this one. I'll do this one, and then I will start singing right after this. And then just put like a bunch of angry faces or something if you want me to be quiet. Or you could mute me. I guess that's the other way. To be nice, just mute me. But I guess I need to know the truth, right? Like, am I gonna get a part or not, you know? So, anyway, okay. I gotta get like into character kind of to do that. Okay, let's just get this off first. Enough of this playing around. Oh, here's the moose, isn't he so cute? He's 138 grams right now. So anyway, that is the moose, but I really think he could be a reindeer too. Put a couple earrings on him with some sprinkles or something. Then he's like, anyway, okay. So let's see, it starts with, we'll see if I remember the words. Shooting star. Okay. When I look at you, what I always see is the face of someone else who once belonged to me. Still I can hear him laugh, and though that melody plays on and on, he's gone. When I look at you, da 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 da. I don't remember that part. I can almost breathe him in like summer in the air. Why do you smile his smile? That heaven I'd forgotten eases through in you. If you could look at me once more with all the love you felt before, if you and I could disappear into the past and find that love we knew, I'd never take my eyes away from you. When I look at you, he is touching me. I would reach for him, but who can hold a memory? And love isn't everything. That moonlight on the bed will melt away someday. Oh, you were once that someone who I followed like a star. Then suddenly you changed, and now I don't know who you are. Or could it be that I never really knew you from the start? Did I create a dream? Was he a fantasy? Even a memory is paradise for all the fools like me. Now remembering is all that I can do, because I miss him so. When I look at you. Okay, that messed up. The ending really messed up. Anyway, that's my shooting star. It kind of worked out perfectly that I got the star while I said star. Anyway, that's one thing that I'm thinking about doing. That was 135 grams. And, thank you, Chris. That's so sweet. I really want to perform again. You guys, like, honestly, like, bath bombs and stuff have been a huge, like, sanity saver for me during this pandemic. Because, like, I don't have that other artistic outlet. And I don't want to stop with the bath bombs. But I really miss acting. So, anyway. Okay. Next up is the snowman. He's got a little hat. And I was going to decorate his little scarf, which you'll see in a moment. But, oops, it would help if I put the sleeve on there. But then I decided not to decorate his, and again, I'm going to like kind of push that up in there into the little poof of his hat. I decided not to decorate the scarf and stuff because I figured that's something that if you did a paint your own, people could do their own little designs. But even you, like if you're making this and you're like, ooh, I want to make several snowmen and, you know, like have different color scarves and whatever. So, and different scarf designs and things like that. So this is the plunger. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And let's get this guy done. go. So the only question is whether I do that one or something from Waitress. Which, Waitress, like at least that song that I did, When I Look at You, it's rising here. Yeah, COVID. So, I don't know, like my Twitter account today, I actually just joined Twitter so that I could find a vaccine. There was like this, so in Canada, somebody started like this thing called Vax Hunters or Vaccine Hunters Canada. And they were like posting like where there were available vaccines. And so I joined to do that because you could get it through like the town, but like if you wanted to get it at like a Walmart or something, like you had to go into walmart.ca and then you had to like search this pharmacy and you'd go through this whole process and they'd be like, there's none available. And then you have to go all the way back to the beginning and start it all over again with every single one. So one of the benefits of Vax Hunters Canada is they would be like, this Walmart has availability on these days with this vaccine. So it was like so much faster. So they were all volunteers. It was awesome. So anyway, so that's why I joined Twitter. And today I saw a headline thingy pop up. It's probably an opinion piece. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but it was like, it was titled, "Oh, hello, fourth wave from Canada. We weren't expecting you so soon," or something like that. So I'm not sure. But Canada was doing okay. Our vaccination rates are pretty high. That is my snowman. So in Ontario, I think it's in Ontario, the stats I'm about to share with you, but it could be wrong. It could be more, but it is 80% at least one vaccine, and I think 69-ish% fully vaccinated. So like, I think those are pretty good. That'll help. So anyway, so I like, hopefully that will help a bit. Like I know in the US, the places where it looks like where it's really, that Delta variant's really going crazy is where there's lower vaccination rates. So hopefully that'll help, but it's going up a bit. So I don't know. I'm so like done with it. Okay, next is, yeah, it's Delta. It's definitely, I know, you know what, like, and I'm seeing that vaccinated are sick as well. I think what I'm hearing is if you're vaccinated, it's not as bad. Like people aren't to the level, like they're not getting in the ICU and hospitalized with the Delta variant, like to the level that unvaccinated are. My concern is the longer we have this thing around, I'm no scientist, but the longer we have this thing around, the more risk there is of another variant. So I don't know. I'm very, anyway, let's stay in our little bubble right now of everything is fine in Bath Bomb World. Anyway, so this is I'm super excited about this, my Christmas tree truck. I, last year around the holidays, had wanted to do this design so badly and I didn't have it. I found a vacuum form mold for it, but I got it after the holidays. And I prefer 3D printed molds over vacuum form molds. So I was like, I'm going to design mine. And then I have a 3D printed mold of this design that I really want to have. Okay. So I'm super excited about this one. Like for me personally, I'm super excited about this one. Yes, totally. I'm on to the Christmas molds now, as you can tell. Totally screams Christmas. Although I guess the gingerbreads, which are next, are not Christmas per se. It's just really winter, so I should have ended with this. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay. But I absolutely love this truck. Love it. Love it. To quote Saturday Night Live. Okay. Let's get some tapping, get this released. Okay. This is the truck. I love this truck. I love it. Isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh, I love this truck. I love it. I think it's so stinking cute. Personally. So, even if nobody gets this mold, I'll be using it a ton. Okay. So that is that one, the truck. And then the last two I have to show you, I actually have to add a bit more mix to my bowl. One moment. One moment, please. Anyway, so for my song, like, I don't know, do I go with Waitress? Because I know they're doing songs from Waitress. And if I do, what do I do? Do I do a ballad or do I do a fast thing? Or do I go with that song that I sang for you guys? Because I have a feeling not many people will do that song. So that could help me stand out. I am horrible at, like, that's the worst, one of the worst parts about auditioning, especially for musicals, but for shows where you have to like prepare a monologue, like figuring out what to do for an audition is so hard for me. Like, it's like you'll go to audition, like especially like musicals and stuff, they'll be like, do an audition, a song that's in the style of the show, but not from the show. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, I don't know. So I either go and just do my own and don't get something because I'm probably not in the style, or I just don't go. So monologues, I generally don't go because I just don't have a monologue prepared. I just don't. And I should have taken COVID lockdowns as like a chance to, you know, work on that. But instead I was lazy, except for my bath bomb business. But pretty lazy elsewhere. And, you know, got plantar fasciitis, I think, because I'm lazy. And so there's that. Oh, Chris, you're voting for that song. Thank you. That might just be it because I did work on that song like 2 years ago. So at least I have some experience with it. Whereas Waitress, I've just sung along with the soundtrack. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so this is now ready for the last two to show you. Okay, so first we'll go with, okay, I have both a Gingerbread Girl, and I was gonna call him Gingerbread Man, but I don't wanna call her girl and him man. Like, to me, I just don't think that's cool. So then I was like, I could either go with like Gingerbread Lady, Gingerbread Woman. So I like Gingerbread Girl, and he's gonna be Gingerbread Boy. And that's totally fine. Like, then they're equal. I don't like this one is like, I don't know, to me that feels like, oh, he's a man or whatever, and oh, a little girl. So I don't like that. Anyway, I'm gonna start with the Gingerbread Man. No, the Gingerbread Boy. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. So if you end up searching my site for the Gingerbread Man mold, you won't find it. I'm not calling it that. But if you search gingerbread, you'll find him and her, and I have the gingerbread house that I've listed. Okay, so let's get a little bit of mix in here, get them kind of into each of those little fun spots. I don't know if you saw that, so I will show you again. So I'm just kind of pushing them into like the areas that are gonna be harder to fill. Now, the one thing I didn't do on this that I wish I did, but I'm just not gonna go back and do it now, since this design works fine, is I should have made him so that you could use him backwards as well. And if I get the time, I will do that. So if I can between today and tomorrow, I'm gonna adjust him. He's not exactly, like it looks like he is, but he's not exactly the same on, you know, symmetrical. So you can't use him backwards. But I actually kind of like it backwards too. So I think I will. I think as long as, like, I was having a little bit of hard time with him when I was starting with him. So he might cause me too much of a, like, I had some issues with him. So I may just stick with this one, but I might adjust him a bit so he's symmetrical and able to be used, so you'd be able to have just like a little kid. Okay. Let's get him unmolded. Come on. almost done, guys. Almost done. Okay. That's the little gingerbread boy. So I will be using him this year. The only question I have, I'm planning to leave him as such, but if you guys really want it, if you tell me that you want that bow to be able to stick out instead of being indented in him, I can do that. The challenge is having it stick out has a bigger risk of it getting stuck in your mix, having your mix get stuck. And the reason for that is right now with the mold sticking out, it's just pressing into your mix. If to have the bow stick out on the bath bomb, then that bow needs to be indented in the gingerbread man, which means your mix has a better chance, has more of a chance of getting stuck. I'm trying to see if I have any right now. I generally mostly do indentations now just because it makes it easier from an unmolding perspective for people. So less risk of sticking. But if you guys really want that to stick out, you'll see it on the girl as well, that there's a spot where I was like torn. Do I have this stick out? Do I not? And if I have that one part stick out, do I have the other part stick out or not? And so I stuck with keeping it all pushed in to do that. Any gingerbread soap? What do you mean gingerbread soap? Like, are you making a gingerbread soap? Like gingerbread shaped soap? I'll be honest, sadly, I don't make soap too much anymore because it just doesn't sell. Oh, like a fragrance. I think that'd be nice. It'd have to probably be kind of brown. It's funny, like I have like an eggnog soap that I've made and I really like it. I use actually eggs in it and it's like nice and rich and creamy, but it's brown because the eggnog, you know, all that vanilla, and people just, they don't like the idea of brown soap. So, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what you think. Oh, thanks, Chris. I love making soap. It just like, I got to get some listed. I have all this soap that's not listed, so it could be part of the reason. But I find that people are buying bath bombs more than they're buying soap. And it's funny because I do have soap customers and they're like, what? I love your soap. Why aren't people getting it? But I just think that it's like, it's one of those things that, I don't know. So, anyway, so I am waiting to hear back on a market though. And if I get into that market, which I don't know why I wouldn't, I did it last year and things seemed to go well, or was it last year? Yeah. So if I get into that, I'll be doing some more soap. And that will be in, I think it's September into October, so I better get started making that soap if I'm gonna do it. Okay, so that's the underside of her. Isn't she so cute? Oh my goodness. If I didn't put the bow in her hair, I could have made her symmetrical. But I did put the bow in her hair. So and I like the bow. It's the same bow, practically. It was modeled after the Gingerbread Boy, because I made him first. And I thought that was cute for them to kind of have the same little design. So they're kind of like a little matchy. I like matchy. Okay, I know you don't have to do everything matchy, but I like it. So, okay, well, let's just tap all around her. And that's my gingerbread girl. So I would still keep her bow as such. I like the bow. So I could do where I just outline her little collar. I could leave it like this, or I could have the collar stick out. Similar to my options for, oh, I'm gonna drop him. Okay, let's just be gentle, Nectaria. Okay, So just like the Gingerbread Boy, I could just outline that bow, which would give it the same impression as this, kind of similar. I kind of like the indentation. I don't know. So for now, this is how it's gonna be. And then if I edit it, I'll take different pictures and share that. So that is it. I'm gonna finish with something. I don't know which one I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll make some crayons. And that's it. So thanks for joining me on this Saturday morning, or wherever in the world you are, whatever daytime it is, and happy making.